February 1st, believe it or not, another new month. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Molly O'Brien, and it is 3 o'clock. All right, today we have a show full of many different subjects. We're talking about getting you organized. We are talking about self-care if you are going through the grieving process and a fundraiser coming up. And then we're talking about getting your writing skills on point. So a couple interesting things to kick off the Lifestyle Hour. So I'd like to say hello and welcome to our first guest, Kristin MacRae with Organizing NRI. She's our organizing and efficiency expert. Kristin, hello. How are you? Good. Hello.
Great to be here again.
We love having you. So today we're kind of mixing things up. We've been helping people get organized, getting on track with their organizational goals for 2018.
Yeah.
So we're kind of mixing things up a little bit for today's show. So you and I've talked about it, and we both love vacation. Yes, we love vacation. So whether it's a weekend trip or say maybe you're going on a ski trip for school vacation week, or you're headed out on a cruise, hopefully going somewhere warm.
Yeah.
And we both kind of thought about this. We're like, let's help people get organized when you're going on vacation.
Yes, why not?
So talk to me a little bit about vacation. Why is it important to be organized when you're planning those trips?
It's important to be organized because there are so many stressors that come into play when you're going on vacation. So we worry about air travel and trains, and like that's one stress we deal with. And then we deal with the stress of getting everybody in the family packed. So the last thing you want to worry about is this whole process of actually, people get so stressed out in the process of getting packed. So we want to break this process down for you today and give you the simplest way to actually go about this process of packing up. And it can be a matter of, do you just want to bring a carry-on on your vacation with the carry-on bag with the roll and carry-on to go on the plane? So you want to think about that today as we go through this. I love to just bring for a 7-day trip to a warm climate. I have my carry-on and a bag on my shoulder, and my husband has the same. I hate checking baggage because I don't want to wait at the turnstile thing, to wait for my bags. I just don't want to do it, and I don't want them to get lost. So I pack everything for 7 days in these 2 bags.
I love packing a carry-on and that's it,
Yes.
especially if you're going somewhere that has a laundry facility, so you can just pack a couple things and then wash and go.
Yes.
So that's the key. If there's laundry available, then you don't have to take anything. Just wear the same thing over and over and then do a couple loads of laundry.
We want to take the stress out of packing during this segment. So that's what it's all about.
So that's what we're going to help you do today. Kristin has 8 things to do when packing for your next trip. So we don't have a suitcase to pack with you because we're going to talk about a couple different things too, not just the packing aspect.
So maybe we'll do that one at some point.
We'll do it sometime. Yeah. We're going to talk about organizing your purse at some point too.
Yes.
So that one we definitely will have a show and tell.
Yes.
All right. So step number 1, plan and prepare. So that seems logical, but not everybody does it.
Yeah, and as you know through these themes of getting you organized all these weeks, it's always plan and prepare as the first step.
Exactly.
So if you know you're going on a trip, the first thing you want to do is to plan. Maybe you want to take just a notebook out and write down, or on your tablet, everything you need to pack. Something you can do at night sitting watching TV, like a few weeks before. You want to list out your toiletries you want to bring. If you're going to warm weather, your bathing suits, your shorts, whatever you want to pack. And then for your family members, make that list. And then use this list going forward. Laminate it and use it as your guide for every time you go away for the summer. So it's a great tool you can use going forward and just use it over and over again. So plan out what you want to wear, what you want to bring on this sheet first before you even start to pack.
I like the idea of making one list and keeping it, laminating or whatever, because I always write out a checklist beforehand and then cross it off as I pack to make sure I have it. Yeah. But having one list to just keep, that's actually a really good idea.
Yeah,
or save it on your computer or whatever it is.
A spreadsheet and then print it out every time you want to use it, so you can still cross off, but you just have it saved in your folder in your computer.
Yeah, and then maybe add a couple extra boxes because you're not always going to the same place, so you'll need different things
But the key points will be things will be there that you need to bring.
Yeah, because sometimes you need to buy stuff too, so you always have a section of what I'll need extra for this trip. So
to prepare too, make your list for that of what you need to plan also what you're buying, what toiletries you're buying. You have to go to CVS or Walmart, wherever for your toiletries, make that list also.
Yeah, okay. So, I love being able to write things down, and what you always talk about too is doing that brain dump.
Yes.
So it can really help with the mental part of saying, okay, this is what I need. So talk to me about how that's important when you're going on these trips.
So it's important too. So you have an outfit and you want to pack a pair of shoes. So write that down, the pair of shoes you want to pack with that outfit. Again, you don't want to be doing this free flying off by the seat of your pants the day before. because you're going to forget something. You're going to forget to pack something. So by writing this all out, it's going to help you alleviate some of that mental clutter the day before. You're not going to have to be rushing around worrying, oh my God, am I forgetting something? What pair of shoes am I deciding to bring? And now you're wasting time that you might not have.
Exactly. And just really, you want vacation to be
It doesn't have to be
stress-free
Yes.
and relaxing, and you want to go into it feeling good about it, not running around like a
chicken
wild,
with
like
your head
like
cut
a
off.
wild person, like a chicken with a head cut off. Okay, number 2, simplify the packing process. Wow, you made that not easy for me to say. Okay, number 2.
So simplify the packing process by how many outfits do you want? Like how many nights are you going? How many days are you going? Think about how many outfits you need. Do you really need to bring 3 suitcases for 7 days?
No.
You don't have to. And again, when you go on vacation, you want to just grab what you brought. Again, you want to be stressed out worrying which outfit do you want to wear that day. You've already have it packed for Monday or Tuesday, and you have those outfits set out and the shoes that go with them and everything else. So that's all you're grabbing that day. So simplify the process of not worrying about, I need to bring 5 outfits for one day in case maybe I decide I don't want to wear that outfit that day. You're on vacation, like that stress shouldn't be a stress you need to worry about. Same with your kids, like just bring the outfits, or if they need a few change of clothes, but just plan out that day, each day that you're going to be going away, and then simplify the wardrobe. How much do you really need to bring? I want you to really think about that too. People overpack. They overpack all the time. I see it all the time. They overpack. You don't have to overpack. Just bring what you need and maybe a couple extras. And that's really, and then think about how many of you are overpacking, what you come home with that you never even wore, but it took up space in your suitcase.
Exactly. That's always the kicker right there. And isn't it always easier when you go place somewhere warm to pack?
It
because
is. Yes.
you have just tank tops and sundresses, whereas if you go on a ski trip, you're like,
Bulky,
everything's
like
bigger, sweaters
Yes.
and pants and your ski clothes. So it's always easier when you're traveling in warmer climates, because you're just like, oh, okay, here's 3 tank tops. And that's it. And your flip-flops are so much smaller than your
Everything's
boots
compact.
Yeah.
And then I say too, think about how many outfits you have. Can you wear 1 pair of shoes with 3 different outfits? So now you're not packing a pair of shoes for every day. You might not need like 1 pair of heels for 3 outfits, and then that takes up less space in your suitcase too.
Yeah.
Mix and match.
Simplify.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say that word ever again. Okay, number 3. Fill every inch of your suitcase.
This is
the fun part.
I know, this is good where a visual comes in, but I want you to think about the little crevices in your suitcase when you're packing. So some people are like, I just throw everything in and I'm out the door.
I know people like that.
Oh, no, you want to be able to maximize the space in the suitcase. Fold up your t-shirts really small. And I say fold everything tightly as opposed to rolling, because rolling will create bulk in a suitcase. A lot of people see these videos, everybody's bulking, rolling everything, but it creates a lot of bulk. So you want to fold everything as small as possible, as neat as possible, and then you're going to find you have these little pockets in your suitcase. That's where you want to fold in your bras and your underwear and your socks, and use the shoes to put socks in the shoes. You want to fill up every single inch of that suitcase and make sure it's packed tight like a puzzle.
I do a combination of rolling and folding, because I
Okay.
can never decide which works better. So if you do a combo to make
Yes.
everything fit perfectly.
As long as everything's not rolled, then it becomes, but if you want to like roll your bathing suit up or roll your nightgown up or things like that, those little tiny things, and then
Combo.
stuff them in the crevices, that's perfect.
You'll be
Yes.
surprised how many things you can fit inside your shoes.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yep, we do
You can
socks, nightgowns, everything.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then use the pockets really well. And
Hopefully the inside of your shoes are fairly
I was
clean.
going to say, most people's shoes are a little stinky.
Unless
You might not
your
wanna do
shoes
that.
are a little stinky, you might not want to put stuff in there. So, just put your socks in there.
There you go.
That's what you normally put in there, okay? All right, number 4, fold items as small as you can. So you
Again,
kind of touched on this. But, so it kind of debates, fold versus roll. So, and it really depends on what you're bringing to and what works, right?
Right, exactly. If you're doing t-shirts, like they fold up into, honestly, we'll have to do this sometime too, just bring
fun.
clothes and just show you how to fold and how to really pack these things tight. But a t-shirt, you can really fold it into 5 little folds, and really, it can be really compact. It doesn't take up much in the suitcase at all. So when you're, try not to just throw these items into the suitcase, really fold them, and you're really going to the goal is to maximize the suitcase, the space in the suitcase, so you're not bringing 3 bags with you. So I want you to really think about maximizing the space by folding everything really compact.
Okay. Number 5, only bring a few pairs of shoes. Now this can be tricky, but for women it can be tricky, but for men it can be tricky too, because dress shoes, men's dress shoes can be a big pain.
Yes.
They're bulky
They're
and
big,
they take up
yeah.
room, and then it's like if you want to go out to a nice dinner, you have to have dress shoes, but then, so shoes can be a big problem.
Yes. So again, I touched on this before think about how many do you really need to bring. You probably need a pair of sneakers, pair of flip-flops if you need for the beach, and then pair of heels or two. And then what you're wearing on your feet, you should incorporate those into your outfits also throughout that week. And what I tend to do too is we have 2 carry-ons when we go away. I said we each carry one, and I'll put most of the shoes in one, so that way I can put a lot of the clothes in the other and use a lot of the space in the one with the shoes for all the fill-in items. So you gotta get creative. So don't necessarily think that you need to have your own suitcase and your husband needs to have his own suitcase. Like, think about how can you intertwine the 2 suitcases to maximize the space that way. And again, if you're bringing 4 sundresses, can 1 pair of shoes go with all of the sundresses that you're bringing? Try not to overpack shoes because, again, it takes up a lot of space in the suitcase. Bring the things that you're actually going to need, the sneakers, the flip-flops. And again, remember what you're wearing on your feet, incorporate that into outfits too.
Definitely plan accordingly. I usually pack according to my shoes. So you
Why
so
not?
If your outfits, you're
Yep.
like, okay, what outfit goes with these shoes? Like,
Right.
bring 1 pair. And it also depends on where you're going to, right?
If you're going for walks, if you're going to a place where you're walking a lot, then you might not want to wear your 6-inch stiletto kind of shoes.
No, definitely
Like I would
not.
too.
And it's like, okay, this is what we're going to this and this location. Are we planning on going out to a lot of nice dinners? Or are we going to do a lot of casual dinners?
Right.
So that's what you have to think
And
about.
that's where the planning really comes in. That's what I want you to think about initially when you're doing that brain dump and getting everything out. Because how many times you've been on vacation, you get there and you're like, oh, why did I bring these shoes? Or why did I bring this outfit where you didn't really plan well ahead? But again, don't do this the day before. If you know you're going on vacation for February, like write this down now so when the day comes to pack, you're not going to forget anything.
Okay. So that's the shoe one. The shoes are always tricky.
Yes.
Because then you're thinking about where are those shoes, and then you have to shove them in the last minute, and then it doesn't fit, and then you have to
Now you're
check your
stressed
bag,
out.
and you're stressed out,
Yeah.
and then they lose your bag, and then everything's ruined. So yeah, it's spiraled there for you. We don't want you to do that. Okay.
All
Number
right.
6, pack trial size toiletries.
So again, if you're bringing a rolling carry-on with your carry-on bag, so you want to put all these toiletries in your carry-on bag that you're carrying on your shoulder. But I find that don't bring these full-size shampoo bottles. Sometimes they explode with the air pressure. So bring these little, because you can only bring on that carry-on your 3 ounces, I think.
Yeah,
you're limited 3 ounces. So
3, 3, 3, or 3, 2, 2.
Yeah.
3, 4, we should all know this
I
by
know.
now. 3, 1, 1. So put me on the spot now.
That's all right. So think about bringing those toiletry sizes in. A really good tip is sometimes when you're ordering through like Ulta or Sephora, you get these samples that they send you. Think about putting those little samples in your carry-on. That way you're not bringing bottles and and it doesn't take up much space in your carry-on. You can just put it in your little Ziploc bag that you need to put out when you're going through security. So trial sizes and also those little packets that are samples, bring those with you. So then you're not coming home with much because you've already used all those samples that you went there with. So you'll have room on the way home for, gifts and things like that in your carry-on.
Yeah, I like that idea. I always think it's good too when you can buy the refillable ones.
Love those.
But get the nice ones. Don't get the cheapo, crummy ones that just break or the
Right.
lids come off. Because if you get the nice refillable ones and like eco-friendly ones, then you keep those and then you use them, refill them, and then you can keep them going. Because I know that I always like to take hand sanitizer with me.
Yeah.
And then continue to reuse that. So keeping those things, because otherwise then they just go in like the junk drawer, or end up under the bathroom sink, and then it's just a waste of your space in your suitcase space.
Right, and then you want to contain, if you have a lot of these toiletries and a lot of bags that you're taking with you for these toiletries, keep them in one spot in your closet or somewhere in the house. I have mine in a little rolling cart, so when I go away, that rolling cart is dedicated to all travel. So when I'm going away, I have extra tooth floss, extra toothpaste, so that's why I'm like shopping from that container when I go away, and all the bags are there, so everything's so keep that organized, so when you go away, that's one less stress you have. Your travel little rolling cart has everything in it you need.
Exactly, that way you can just grab from it and go rather than searching your house.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7, use a checklist.
Again, planning and preparing, but also once you plan and prepare, now utilize that when you're going to pack. Bring that list with you, and now you can cross things off like we talked about before. Check things off as you go. So that way you don't forget anything, because the last thing you want to do is forget something. Like, it's just a hassle. I know you can buy things when you're there, but that's a lot. You don't want to run around that you forget something. So actually use it as a checklist, cross things off, have one for your kids, have a checklist for every single person in your family that's going, and you might say, Kristin, that's so much work. I know I talk about this a lot. People are like, oh, that's so much work. But once you have this checklist done, like I said, laminate it, put it in your file for and in your computer to use later. Once you have it down, have a winter one and a summer one, then you'll be smooth sailing from there.
Okay, number 8. Don't pack 1/2 hour before you leave, which I think is funny, but it happens. Your plane leaves in 3 hours, and you're still rushing to get all this stuff.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you have your list. A few nights before, why not pack all this stuff up, put it in your suitcase, and then the night before, you can pack your toiletries that you're using actually to get ready. You might have some other your brushes and makeup and things.
Yeah.
Yep. But have that bag ready so when you leave that morning after you do it, it goes right in the bag and goes with you. But it's so important not to pack at the last minute. Again, it's another stressor. How many of you have been late to a plane because you're still packing? Yeah. It can be avoided, so make your checklist, then pack a few nights before. My mom, it's funny, they go to Florida every year, and like they go in like now, and 2 months before, she's like, I'm packed, I'm ready to go. I'm all ready to go.
She's ready to get out of here.
Yeah, so think about if it's a warm weather climate you're going to and it's February, you're not wearing your summer clothes right now. This is a great time. Get it packed now and then throw in your toiletries and your carry-on items later before you go. But it's a great time. If you have 2 hours in your day or an hour in your day in between now and what time you go away, it's a great time because you're not going to be grabbing your bathing suit and shorts and tank tops and sundresses.
Just pack it all now.
Yeah.
What do you think so those are the 8 tips. I'm kind of curious, miscellaneous.
Yeah.
What do you think for all the cords and the tablets because that's what I'm always do. I always have to make an extra checklist for that. Like, do I have my tablet? Do I have my tablet charger?
Right.
Do I have my cell phone? Do I have my cell phone charger? Do I have the external battery so that doesn't die? And if it does die, what do you suggest for that stuff and how and when to pack it?
So I keep another bag in my travel case. When I'm going away, I have an extra charger in there. I have all the extras that I'm going to need, so when I go away, I just grab that bag. I know what's in there. I know everything I need. So if you want to plan ahead for that, everybody's got extra chargers laying around, extra cords. Throw them in a bag in your area where you're organized for traveling, and then grab that bag. To pack them, I always keep what I'm going to need in my carry-on, and then the rest I want you to, again, filter in the actual suitcase, and you'll have room for it because cords don't take up much space. Yeah. You can just stuff them in the little crevices, so that might help.
And another miscellaneous question: what do you pack in the front suitcases or the front pockets of your suitcase? Because those are always kind of like random space.
Right.
What do you like to put in there?
So I like to put things that don't take up much bulk, like flip flops. They can go in there nicely. If you need extra socks, extra underwear in the front, if you need to put a magazine in the front of that bag, it's something that you want to grab quickly, but I usually put those in my carry-ons too. Anything that, like belts, anything that doesn't take up a lot of bulk, put in that front pocket. That would be great. I like to do that because if you're putting it up in the overhead, you don't want anything you want to be able to put it up there and not have to squish it in. So anything that's not bulky, put in there.
All right. So hopefully we helped to get you ready for vacation. I think it's time to book a vacation after all that talk. Now that we're ready to go, right? So Kristin MacRae with Organizing in Our Eye. We'll put up links to her website on our website. And of course, you can check out her weekly column on golocalprof.com. Every week she writes for us. So thanks so much for joining us.
Molly.
Thanks, Kristin. We're going to take a quick pause as we get ready for our next guest here on Golocal Live.